All right, let's dive into a practice that is, believe it or not, as ancient as human history itself, but it's also right on the cutting edge of modern science. We're talking about fasting, the ancient key to modern resilience.
But I know what you might be thinking, and let's just get it out of the way. Is fasting just another one of those health trends you see all over social media? Something that's going to be replaced by the next big thing in a year? Well, the evidence points to something way, way more profound. This isn't a fad. It's a seriously powerful practice where the latest breakthroughs in biology are actually just confirming what spiritual traditions have known for like millennia. So in this explainer, that's the bridge we're going to cross. We're going to see exactly how fasting connects our deepest biology with what can be a truly transcendental experience. Okay, so it all starts deep inside our cells. It begins by flipping this one critical biological switch. And this is the key to unlocking the body's incredibly powerful alternative fuel system. That switch, it's called the metabolic switch. And it's the exact moment your body makes this fundamental shift. It stops running on the easy energy, the sugar and carbs from your last meal, and it starts burning your own stored body fat for fuel, producing these amazing byproducts called ketones. And this whole thing, it doesn't just happen randomly. It unfolds in really clear stages. So take a look at this. For the first 12 hours or so after you eat, your body is just burning off that meal's glucose. Pretty simple. But look what happens next. Between hours 12 and 36, your insulin levels plummet and your body starts tapping into fatty acids and producing some early ketones. Then, if you go past 36 hours, you enter a sustained fast, and that's when your hormones shift big time. You're now running on super efficient ketones.
Here's an even simpler way to picture that journey. First, you burn through your stored sugar. Then, your body starts burning fat for fuel. And finally, after a day and a half or so, you're in this state of deep ketosis. And you have to understand, this isn't some modern diet hack. It's a deeply ancient survival program that is hardwired into every single one of us.
Now, here's the most important part. Ketones aren't just a backup fuel source. No way. They are powerful signaling molecules. Think of them like little messengers that go and talk to your DNA, telling it to activate all these pathways for stress resilience and repair. They are literally upgrading your entire system from the inside out. And one of the biggest upgrades you get is this process of deep cellular cleaning, a process so important, so fundamental, that it was actually awarded the Nobel Prize. We need to talk about autophagy. Yep, back in 2016, a scientist named Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize for his incredible work on this exact process. So just to be clear, this isn't some fringe theory. It's a core mechanism of life that fasting directly kicks into high gear. Autophagy literally means self-eating. And the best way to think about it is like your body's personal, highly efficient housekeeping service. It goes into your cells, finds all the old, damaged parts and junk proteins that can lead to disease, and it recycles them into new, useful parts. It's pretty amazing. So how does fasting actually turn this on? Well, it basically comes down to two key signals. Fasting flips the switch on for AMPK. That's the green light for the cleanup crew. And at the same time, it shuts off a signal called mTORC1, which is all about growing and building. And that makes sense, right? You can't really renovate a house and build an extension at the same time. Fasting tells the body, all right, stop building, it's time to clean house. Okay, so this cellular cleanup is happening, but how does that actually feel in our day-to-day life? Well, let's zoom out from the cells and go up to the brain, because this is where you can really notice the effects. We're talking about a sharper, more resilient mind. Now, this might sound completely backward, but your brain is literally wired to be at its sharpest when you're hungry. And from an evolutionary point of view, it makes total sense, right? Our ancestors needed to be laser-focused to hunt or find food when they hadn't eaten in a while. And modern science shows us exactly how this works. Fasting ramps up something called BDNF, which is like Miracle-Gro for your brain cells. It's crucial for learning and memory. It also helps rebalance your gut bacteria, which can seriously reduce anxiety. And it even helps repair your gut lining, which protects your brain from harmful inflammation. And this powerful link, this connection between a clear body and a clear mind, is precisely why fasting has been a universal tool for spiritual clarity in almost every major world religion for thousands of years. The science is finally catching up with the spirit. In the Islamic tradition, for example, fasting during the month of Ramadan isn't just about not eating or drinking. It's a method for cultivating something called taqwa, a kind of God consciousness. It acts as a shield, helping believers focus on the spiritual over the worldly. It's a similar idea in Christianity, where fasting is seen as a tool for kenosis, which basically means self-emptying. The idea is to clear out all the noise and distractions of daily life to make space for spiritual renewal and feel a deeper connection to the divine.
And then you have Jainism, where fasting is this incredibly developed practice for something called nirjara, which is the active shedding of accumulated karma. It's seen as a direct way to literally purify the soul.
Okay, so we've seen the profound impact this can have on us as individuals, both physically and spiritually. But what happens if we zoom out even further? Well, it turns out fasting might have a huge role to play in public and even planetary health. Just think about this for a second. 83% of the entire world's population identifies with a religion, and most of those traditions include some form of fasting. That is a massive pre-existing cultural framework for incredible health transformation on a truly global scale. And the benefits don't stop with us, they extend to the planet. So many fasting traditions naturally involve shifting away from animal products. And just look at this chart. Producing 1,000 calories from beef creates way more greenhouse gases than the same calories from lentils or tofu. When you scale those small shifts up, the environmental impact is enormous. You see, it all comes together so beautifully. When we align our modern, scientific understanding of biology with this deep, ancient wisdom, we can build not just our own personal resilience, but a much more sustainable planet for everyone. Which really just leaves us with one final thought. In this incredibly complex, fast-paced modern world we live in, what if one of the oldest, simplest tools we've ever had is actually the key to unlocking the resilient future we so desperately need?